everyone, I'm Rob Smith from the Invlac VTF here at T3 Live with a beautiful day to trade. I couldn't ask for anything more. Basically, especially after last week's webinar talking about the different aspects of the strategy, the truths that I use to trade, certainly played out today. If we take a look, let's take a look at the charts. If we take a look at our SPY, we had 2 days of a very tight consolidation on the daily. I'll shrink that down so you can see it. Tight consolidation day, so we're looking for some sort of expansion of volatility. So how might we get something like that? Well, if we go to the 15-minute chart, you'll see here that when I talk about everything trades in a series of broadening formations, you're never going to see this any more clearer than you did here today. This is how price discovery works. Tight range consolidation. Let's try and take it to the lows. No, let's try and take out these highs. Let's try and take it to the highs. No, let's try and take it to the lows. One more push, they try and take them to the lows, rallies all the way back up to the highs, runs out of steam and goes all the way to the lows. That's ideally how things work, and especially when I take out, like from the webinar, if you look at this going back to the monthly, it's the identical pattern going back decades, played out in a matter of a 15-minute chart, and oftentimes shorter than that. So when we do that, how do we play something like that? Because it's an erratic pattern. People are like, it was going up, it looked great. Well, what happens is when you look at the SPY, we know that there's a bunch of sectors in there. We also know that a 15-minute is an equilibrium here. If it was going to go up, it was going to continue from here. That's not what happened. It came down and closed within that equilibrium. This is called the reversal strategy. I did not talk about this in the webinar, but I'm showing it to you now. Was there any evidence to believe that this was going to be some sort of top and go down? You bet there was. If you take a look at XLE, never had a chance. Energies were selling off during the entire rally in the morning, and certainly got clobbered as the day went on. If let's say that, let's take a look here once again. And so if we look at the XLE, you can see the inside 15 are here. Now at this point, this is either going to stop, hold support, exhaust, and come back up. That's not what happened. It was handily underperforming the S&P at that time. Inside 15 gets absolutely smoked. If you look at the SPY itself, right before it broke, it was holding here, but then it goes inside 15 towards the top of the old triangle. This is either going to be support, where we go inside and come back up. That's not what happened. The XLE told us this was going to break to the downside. Sure enough, it did. Triangle expands to the downside. Thing of beauty. One of the other things I talk about is time frame continuity. So what we want to do is we want to be trading ideally long when things are going up on all time frames, trading higher than the monthly, weekly, daily, and 60, and conversely short when it's going down. Now we don't always have that. Condition. So sometimes we're in conflict. Some we're trading higher on the week or higher on the month and lower on the week is in conflict. We want to watch the 60. This is called intraday time frame continuity. And this is what helps you be on the right side because you have an entire hour here to be looking on the long side, 2 hours of flat, and 3 hours of hey, baby, all the way down looking for those inside sellers on the downside. You can see something like an EOG. Once these things start getting cremated, we're looking at the inside bars all day. Inside 30 for the EOG. See you later with the XLE already down in 4. So the question at this point is, is it going to continue to resolve to the downside? Is everything over? So the last thing, those inside bars, the other thing is we look for actionable signals, which is an inside bar, hammer, shooting star, but for usually the equilibrium in the inside bars. And so at this point, we take the longer term signals. So at this point, we still have the monthlies in force, and FAS is still an inside month and up, IBB is still an inside month, SMH is still an inside month and up. So most of the monthly signals are still leading us to believe toward the long side. The way that would negate is when we start looking at some of the shorter term stuff, the weekly stuff. And so if the weeklies start to break down, then we start to have some conflict. And so far, even today, wasn't too damaging as far as that's concerned. We have Apple inside week and down out of a tight consolidation. We have Hewlett-Packard inside week and down. We have IBM slightly inside week and down. RRC. If we go to the transports, you'll see CP Rail goes inside week and down. Also CP, I believe, gave you a nice inside 30 right here to confirm that. If you go to General Dynamics, inside week and down, and ADI, which is countering the inside month and up. So just potentially upper level triangles. It's not the end of the world. It's just some things pulling back, because if you take a look at the weeklies on both sides, even after today, it's still not really biased to the downside, because you still have Lowe's Corp inside and up on the week. You had a Baidu's inside and up on the week. You have SINA inside up in the week. You have Lulu, EQR. You've got in the REITs, BXP, get me some yield, baby. You got AVB REIT. You've got Deckers and retail still inside and up on the week. So these signals are getting somewhat conflicted here, and we're also running out of daily signals to reconfirm either of those after today's move. So we're just going to be looking at stuff like JP Morgan. It's an inside day. CELG was an inside day. You had Triple D is an inside day, but most importantly too is I like to watch some Dow theory and utilities inside day. So they're not hitting everybody. As you saw, we had some strength in the REITs, some strength in you know, an equilibrium here in the utilities to see if anything's going to get any worse. Another inside 60 was a real nice one today. Was Priceline, and if you take a look at this here, why we watch these things, it hits the top of higher highs, goes up, goes inside, falls apart down in here. So for tomorrow, basically, we have conflicted signals and a lack of daily signals. So we're going to be looking for some sort of consolidation. Not sure what that's going to look like right now. We're going to stick with the signals. But when we don't have the signals, we watch that 60. The 60-minute SPY tells you what direction the market is going right now. And if it's going to continue against you, that's what the chart's going to look like. It's going to be red bar, red bar, red bar. So, you know, if you're getting hurt on the long side during that period, that's why you want to watch that. Because if you're with the in the blackers today, I'm going to say people are trading this like a Stradivarius, baby. It was awesome. So if you like trading, today was a beautiful day. We got an expansion in volatility, looking for maybe a little consolidation in the next day or so. But we got the end of the quarter. The monthlies are still in force, so we're going to see how the new daily setups will confirm or negate some of these weeklies that I just showed you. So that's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith for Smith in the Black VTF here at T3 Live with the market wrap-up. Hope you all have a great night and see you in the morning.